New York.
In a city of 8 million people, what are the odds that one unexpected encounter between two unlikely people could change everything? That's at the heart of the new Broadway musical, Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York. Today, we're talking with the mismatched lovers of this charming romcom on this episode of Theater, All the Moving Parts. Welcome. I'm Patrick Pacheco. New York City has always been the perfect backdrop for unexpected encounters, and that's exactly where Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York begins. The new Broadway musical follows a mismatched couple, a tenacious British goofball, Dougal, and Robin, a jaded New Yorker burdened with running errands for her older sister's wedding. Among them is picking up Dougal from the airport, and once they meet, chaos ensues, tempers flare, secrets are laid bare, and against all odds, sparks fly. We sat down at Sardi's with the stars of the show, Christiani, Pitts, and Sam Tutty, to talk about the singularities of romance in the big city. Welcome, Christiani, and welcome, Sam, to Theater, All the Moving Parts. And Sam, I believe this is your first time at Sardi, so welcome to Sardi's.
I'm in awe. What a gorgeous place. This is amazing. How incredible. Wow, thank you.
What would Dougal make of it?
He would be analysing every single portrait and counting every single person that he knew and knows and is familiar with, and will definitely lie and say he knows all of them.
And Christiani, what would Robin make of this, since she's a jaded New Yorker?
Oh man, she would think it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna hold you. She would think it's very nice, but she probably would feel like, seen it all, done it all. You know what I mean? Just gotta play it cool.
But that's not the way you are.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Not cool
This is
at all.
no. I mean, I am pretty cool, but
Right.
no. This is such an iconic building, and the last time I was here was for the Cheetah Rivera Awards dinner. The first ever Cheetah Rivera Awards, I think in 2016 or something like that, and it was, I mean, legendary.
What's amazing about where you two meet in the show is in the baggage area of JFK, I gather. It is JFK that you've arrived at. And you both are carrying psychic baggage yourself. What is your psychic baggage for Robin?
Oh man, well, you know, I can't reveal too much, but she's definitely dealing with a little bit of shame and a little bit of stress that she brought onto herself. And she is carrying it, and it's heavy. It's very heavy.
I would say for Dougal it would be this sort of longing, I suppose, or a want or a desperation for a certain truth he's been living his whole life to be true, and this trip to New York, not to give too much away, is the sort of pivotal moment when he finds out if it is or isn't. So I would suppose it's that, yeah.
Well, it's an emotional tinderbox because you're meeting your father for the first time, the father that you've never known. Your mother has raised you all by herself in West Sussex, I believe.
Yes, basically, yeah.
And you're from West Sussex,
I am from West
too.
Sussex, yeah, I am.
So how much do you identify with Dougal?
Well, we chat about this a lot, don't we? That I think originally it used to be almost in completion, absolutely. But then the more I knew, when I met Christiani, the more I realised that actually, she is far similar to Dougal, and I am far similar to Robin. It's just really interesting, which it makes it really fun to then, every night go to switch characters and be, completely different from who we are, yeah.
Because obviously you've been in the show for the last 2.5 years, right? Yeah. You started in the West End.
Yeah. We started in a tiny theatre in London, and then we got moved to the West End, then moved to Boston, and now we're here. It's a crazy, crazy story.
And Christiani, you came into it at ART, correct?
I did, yeah.
And Sam just said that you're more like Dougal. In what way?
Oh, it's so true. Dougal is just, he wears his heart on his sleeve, and nobody is a stranger. And that is exactly how I am, unfortunately, child. It's so not mysterious at all. I truly wake up like, I'm gonna be mysterious today. And it never works. It literally, how y'all doing? Like, it just I think it's the Southern thing, I don't know what it is, but I very much resonate with, like, nobody is a stranger, and what is an uncomfortable
In the Ubers
silence?
as well, you love the taxis.
Our first, okay. So, our first, like, encounter in Boston, our real, like, becoming friends, I think, is we were taking an Uber home from rehearsal, and I jump in, I'm saying, how you doing, sir? To the driver, you doing all right? Like, making conversation, and he's over there like, okay.
That's not what a Brit would do, by the way. That's not, I'm grumpy. That's just the Brit in me, I
He's
suppose.
very
Just
grumpy.
polite, you know,
He's quite grumpy. This is our first, and so that very much Dougal, like very Dougal coded, whereas he, again, is not rude. Well, you speak for yourself, but he's just, I would say, a lot more like
reserved, I suppose. Like when it comes to strangers, you know, I like to be polite and just, there's a sort of level of, I don't know you yet, but for Christiani, it's like, hey, y'all, how's it going? Like,
why am I so high-pitched?
That's how I hear you.
I'm a little bit more in the
Hey,
basement.
how's it going?
That's it.
In fact, you're like a golden retriever, as she says, without boundaries at all.
Yes.
But it seems to me that you introduce, or Dougal introduces, a certain chaos, but a controlled chaos.
Yes.
Isn't it? I mean,
Yeah, I think then that's definitely the I would suppose, for the lack of a better word, challenge in the show is for Dougal specifically is don't just look like a court jester. You know, don't try and make the audience laugh at you. They have to sort of laugh with you, and there is, exactly as you put it perfectly, a controlled chaos to him where. Because that also helps with the stamina of the show as well. The more you reserve and trust the dialogue and the book writing from Kit Buchan, our amazing writer, the truth will still come out. It just doesn't have to cost so much physically that you can't do the next show that evening or the next one the following night. So yeah, it's a really interesting blend and a controlled chaos, as you said. Yeah.
you developed a physical language, I gather, Christiani, with the director, Tim Jackson.
Yes.
And your physical language is very funny because you're trailing behind her, at least at the beginning,
Yes.
like a puppy. And she is like trying to lose this puppy, isn't she?
Yes, very much so. My favorite thing to play on stage with him is the fact that every conversation we have should be the last conversation. I should never see you again. And that's so much fun to play because the frustration when he pops back up, when I turn back around and he's still there. It's so fun to play, but it's like a physical stillness and a physical like tense. It's like a tension that she holds throughout the show that I really don't resonate with in my personal life. So it's fun. But yes, I'm always trying to lose him.
You convey that.
In real life as well.
You convey that beautifully. You mentioned the fact that Southern. Were you raised in Atlanta?
Well, yes, I was raised in Decatur, which is right outside of Atlanta.
Of Atlanta. And then there was also a Montclair chapter for you as
There was,
well?
yes. Yeah, I lived in Montclair for 4 years.
I thought it was interesting because when you are Robin and you are so pissed off and you've got a lot of stuff on your mind, and here he comes, you felt that it was interesting to modulate the performance so that you don't come off angry, because black women tend to come off angry in their resting face.
Speak on it, speak on it. I was very, very, it was very important to me that it was clear that this is a person who is going through a lot, but has to show up to work every single day with a smile on her face because her bills depend on it. And there's a lot riding on her being palatable in all these different spaces. At work, for her family, when she picks this stranger up at the airport, I don't want to be there, but I gotta kind of get them to like me. So to have more nuance than just being upset, I take it very personal when I see black women in particular given these roles that are so one-dimensional, and they expect us to
that could be so,
oh my goodness,
so deep.
Yeah, there could be so much. Why is someone upset? Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. But anyway, yes, it was very important to me that we understood that she's hurting, that she's not angry, she's hurting, and she's processing, and she's in her head. She's, a lot of the times where I may come off as rude to Dougal, I'm simply not listening because I'm doing something else. But it's been really lovely to have black women in particular see the show. And I had a woman last week actually say, the uncomfortable black silence. That's what she said at the stage show. I said, yes! Really? Meaning that she was clocking my silence and what it meant. And she said, she goes, oh, there was so much being said. And I'm looking around like, oh, y'all don't even get it.
Yeah.
Y'all don't even get it. And I said, well, it was for you. It was for you. Like, that's why I'm sticking to my guns and trying to be very intentional.
But doing it in such a graceful way, though, with like a friendly fit, and there's so much patience with Christiani and with Robin, that where you can see, like, I'm just going to repeat your words. There's so much being said in the silence. It's genius. It's really genius.
Well, you created the role, obviously, in the West End. You had done Dear Evan Hansen. Actually, your first trip to New York was to audition for Dear Evan Hansen.
On the outside, always looking in. Will I ever be more than I've always been? Cause I'm tapping on the glass.
Yeah, so it was a big complicated emotional journey. Yeah, it was very fun.
You won the Olivier, of course, for Dear Evan Hansen. What was the joy of coming back to New York?
Yeah, I think the experiencing New York this time around has changed so much because now I'm living here. I get to sort of look at the small things, you know, the really subtle things. The longest I stayed here previously was 3 weeks when I was rehearsing for Evan Hansen here. And every other time prior to that was literally like the show time, like 48, it was like 2 days. My first time in New York, I landed, saw a matinee of Dear Evan Hansen, had the evening to myself, did a final audition the next day, and then got an afternoon flight home. So I was barely there for 2 days. So I can now, and I emulate that energy that Dougal has. You know, I literally had that experience basically, and I wanted to do everything. I cannot explain to you what it's like as a Brit, or basically anyone coming outside of the US, going to New York specifically, because I was born on media that completely reveres New York and all of the films that are set in it. It's just something deeply embedded in my childhood that New York has always felt so far away and almost impossible, because it just doesn't feel like a real. It feels like only that exists in movies and a green screen, you know, or in sets in Hollywood. It doesn't feel real, and I think having that and perpetuating that into Dougal's DNA is really helpful because I experienced that. So it's really, really refreshing.
Because the clock is running. You've got 2 days. You've got 2
And
days
no
to
money.
pack, and no money,
60 dollars.
to pack this all in. And we all got our impressions from movies about New York. I mean, whether it was Dog Day Afternoon or King Kong. Which, of course, you famously played Ann Darrow.
Yes.
How was that experience for you, and what did you learn on that experience that you brought to Robin?
Oh, it was a wild experience. It was my first originating a role of a leading lady on Broadway, and my first time doing that. So it was scary, it was terrifying. It was also physically demanding. And so I learned a lot about how to lead a show, how to protect myself physically. I honestly probably put up too much of a protective mechanism because of how difficult it was for me. So ironically, Robin, who is so self-preserving and so overly protective of herself, I think that's something I learned from my experience over there at the Broadway.
And this must just be such a relief to act opposite a real live human being.
It's nice. It's real nice, and my feet are on the ground. I mean, we're climbing.
Suspended.
We're climbing suitcases, which is wild in itself. But there's, and I don't need a harness. But to not be in a harness
Sometimes
8 shows
we
a
do,
week.
sometimes.
We probably should have one, to be honest with you.
Oof.
But yeah.
Your co-writers describe New York having this mythological magnetism. What is New York for you in terms of that mythological magnetism, Christiani?
It is like a fairy tale of a place. Sometimes it doesn't feel real. And that cliche of like, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Genuinely, I believe that's true. And being from the South and coming up here to see shows, it just felt like a dream. Like it felt like cinema. It felt like like a set, like you were saying before. So to me, it just feels like the place where if you can make something happen for yourself here, you're set up to go do anything, anywhere.
What about you?
I think there's this complete fairy tale-esque energy to it, and I think, like, you know, as I mentioned with Dougal, he just reveres it, and as do I. I think mainly it's the people I'm just fascinated by in all walks of life. Just like I love walking down the city and just people watching. Obviously, got to be careful with that. You don't know you're going to look someone the wrong way. But,
Well, now that spring is here, New Yorkers are a lot less cranky, believe me. And you probably noticed that in the
I
audience
get
response.
that. I was cranky for the past 4 months. Don't get me wrong. I don't blame them, honestly. This was brutal.
It's like, you're going to have fun.
You mentioned fairy tale, and that is so central to the show. And Robin is the one who reels in Dougal's fairy tale fantasies. And it's especially in the song, He Doesn't Exist.
Yes.
The petals turn black, the coachmen turn back into rats, and he doesn't exist.
What are the dangers of falling into a fairy tale?
I think what immediately came to my mind is like expectation. The fairy tales all have the same ending. And so you fall into it and your expectation is the happily ever after. And unfortunately, that's just not how life works. Or it's up to you to determine what your happily ever after is. And that song, He Doesn't Exist, it was probably the hardest one for me to work through because it is so poetic. And Robin is throughout the show, she's not a poet. She's very real. She's not trying to use alliteration. She's trying to say exactly what she means. Until it made sense to me that she is choosing to meet him where he is, and she's choosing to use poetry. She's choosing to use the fairy tale because that's where he lives. And she's just meeting him in his world and trying to help him understand, like, your expectations are not going to be met, and that's okay, or it can be okay.
Dougal doesn't take that very well.
It's really difficult. There are some shows he does and some shows he doesn't. It's really fun, and that's the beauty of this show. You know, it's beautiful. The way I'm shouting at you. I think it's a beautiful choice. Kit Buchan and Jim Barn, our writers, they did an amazing choice for Robin to go, right, I'm gonna try and land this plane gently, and like you mentioned, in the way that I know that you could, the language that you like to listen to and like to receive. I'm gonna say it in this metaphor that maybe I'm gonna give you the ingredients now, and you're gonna make the cake. Do you know what I mean? Oh, lack of a better word, cake, right? So, but then after that, there's a bit more of a bluntness, and then we have this beautiful sort of explosion of everything that we were feeling inside that has nothing to do with each other, but everything to do with each other, and it's just so gratifying and so rewarding as an actor. It's just like every night, just to get to, have that sort of explosion of emotion is really fun.
And there's sexual tension in that explosion as well. There's been this dance all the way through, and this must be the first musical comedy in history in which the two people bond over not grinder. Hold on, not grinder.
Let's do it. Let's write it in.
Excuse me. Tinder.
Let's make a change.
Let me start that so that we don't go down that path.
Yeah,
but
we could.
We probably should.
Well, it's probably better for us.
I'm totally for it. But to stick to the show, it is the first musical comedy in history in which the couple bond over Tinder. What is the subtext that's going on there?
Oh, I was hoping he was going to take it. I think it's literally one of my favorite moments. It's because Robin is, I never tell you this, but Robin is just like down the wormhole, of like men in New York City, and how I've seen them all, I've done it all, I'm over it. Not realizing that like someone who may be my type or like maybe the one is sitting right next to me. And it's just because at that point in the show, he's the farthest thing from the one. It's an amazing moment of like, hopefully the audience seeing something that these two people don't see, and letting him into my world of like the Justins and the Brandons and the Kevins, and there's no Kevin. But.
And we don't know much about Dougal's sexual history, except when he says, when I first came, brought a girl home to Mom. Mom was so relieved, or maybe not relieved, that you weren't gay. Right?
Yeah, right, yes, exactly, yeah. I think there's a level of theatre to Dougal that I suppose brings in that very stereotypical view, oh, my son must be gay if he's that energetic, do you know what I mean, and that brave and colourful, do you know what I mean? This show is so, as an actor, it's so difficult but so rewarding because I have to make this person appear very attractive almost immediately. There has to be a physical attraction, like, okay, that person's fit, cool, but goodbye. And so there's like a million obstacles that we're putting in front of ourselves while also, without trying, knocking them all down like dominoes. And it's a really fascinating dance. So I think to sort of inject that, no, I do sleep with women. Excuse me, sorry. It's usually with women.
and then I have to believe.
Yeah, you have to believe it.
That's
Yeah,
where the work comes in.
And the audience does too, because there's that trope about, gay or European, gay or British, right?
Gay or European, it's hard to guarantee. Is he gay or European?
And I love that the following thing is about his mom being disappointed.
Yes,
Because
that's right.
These iconic characters who are not in the show, people love them so much, and I feel like Big Polly's the best. But even that in particular, she was disappointed. It just makes you love her even more.
Yeah, and you get such little context for those characters, and I think when you mentioning those things about their character, the audience can go away and paint what they look like, what their fears are, what their loves are, and they can come back again, second or third time, and have a completely different opinion. That's the joy of it.
It's only the two of you, which is, an extraordinary challenge to maintain for as long as you do. But you're also with characters that, as we started the conversation with, handling a lot of psychic baggage. And family is central here, and family keeps intruding all the time. How does the trauma, the respective traumas, you grew up without a father, you grew up without a father or a mother, and you have this relationship with your grandmother, which is a little bit mysterious. I don't know if you're estranged, is that too strong of a word to say?
Well, no, I think that's absolutely right. She hasn't seen her in 2 years, and she lives in the next borough over. So she's made an active choice to not go visit her.
Yeah, well, I think the thing that binds us is the relation to each other in the wedding, and that helps. That's the sort of glue. But then the type of people, these Robin, the whole show surrounds two people changing each other for who they should be, rather than who they want to be. Whether it's Robin helping Dougal find that what he believes isn't actually happening, and she's helping him move away from that, or if it's Dougal helping Robin be like, it's okay to, for the lack of a better word, be happy. It's the DNA of these two people who, I actually really care for you, and you really care for me. Who cares about what's happening behind us? Let's just support each other now and love each other for who we are, not who we were going to be or who we're related to.
Do you become family more than lovers?
Well, I think my opinion lives in, because everyone's like, oh, what happens afterwards? What happens? And I sort of live in the realm of the in-breath of that. I don't know, and I love not knowing. I would love to say that he doesn't get on the plane and all this sort of stuff. But he has stuff at home, he has responsibilities at home. But the idea of, there are so many films out there that give a cliffhanger or don't give a conclusion, and I love that. Like thinking in the realm of all of these possible branches. That's my joy.
I think for me, it's a night-to-night thing, which I love. There are some nights where, for whatever reason, maybe it's the energy in the space or whatever, but the romance is so palpable and so real.
Emotional, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, and very deep. And to me, I leave that day thinking okay, I'm having dinner with Big Polly, his mom, in 6 months. We're together.
Yeah.
And then there are some nights where the emotional stakes are so high, and it's such a deep friendship feels like it was established, that I'd leave feeling like I may never see him again. But that was one of the greatest friends I've ever had. And it's so weird, because I promise you, it's a different thing night to night. And the last time I said this, he was like, well, what am I doing on the nights?
Yeah, what am I doing wrong?
You don't want to be with me. What did I do? But no words ever change. It's just something about the energy.
I didn't look good that day, Yeah, didn't do my hair
You
right.
serve coffee and you serve popcorn. Right? You work in a movie house.
Correct.
What are the most romantic movies that you've personally seen that kind of define romance for you?
I keep mentioning this one in
The trilogy.
Past Lives. Well, not
Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
Past
There's a
Lives.
film called Past Lives that came out a few years ago, and it's very similar to the story in the sense of these two sort of star-crossed lovers, I suppose. So and then that similarly has a very inconclusive ending, which is very emotional for me when I watch it. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it breaks my heart. Yeah.
You're in floods.
Oh, tears, tsunamis coming out of my eyes. Yeah.
What about you?
That's my favorite genre. I love a good rom-com. But the Linklater trilogy, is it Before Sunset, After?
Yeah, Before Sunrise.
Before Sunrise.
Yeah. After Sunset. I think there's one at dusk as well. There's a Lunch at Noon, isn't there? Something
If
like
I'm going to
that?
talk about this, I should
Sorry,
probably know the
yeah,
name.
but, yeah, right.
I don't know the name though. You're
No,
helping me.
fine,
But it's the Linklater series. It's 3 movies that were shot over the span of, I think, 10,
Ethan
20
Hawke, and I can't remember the other.
years. Yeah, it's beautiful. But
What do you love about it?
I just love the idea of people picking up at different points in their
Yes,
lives.
yeah.
Like for Robin and Dougal, maybe they don't see each other until like 10 years down the road. And who are they then? And do they still love each other? That concept to me is on one hand really beautiful, on the other hand a little toxic, because why are you running back to your ex? Who knows?
Yeah.
Something I identify with. But
When Harry Met Sally as well, that's,
Yes.
that's
Yes,
another amazing
yes.
one. I watched that recently for the first time and I was like, oh, okay, this is very informative. Every Sunday, I'm trying to, every like evening or day off, I'm trying to watch a very classic rom-com just to keep in the realm and be inspired by, you know, all the sorts of like, you know, things that Kit Buchan and Jim Barton watched to fuel this show.
Yes.
So yeah, there are, and When Harry Met Sally is another amazing one.
God bless Rob Reiner.
yes, God bless Rob
Absolutely.
Reiner.
One thing that I love about the show is, and I think that's why it has gotten such an enthusiastic response from audiences, is that these two characters are regular people. And they talk about how small they are. But at the end, you get a sense, and they get a sense for themselves, that they're a little taller because of each other. Is that where you find yourself ending up, Robin ending up and Dougal ending up?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think my favorite thing about the ending sort of for Robin is that she has this huge epiphany. She sings this beautiful 11 o'clock number, and then she goes to a Chinese restaurant by herself where she gets some $5, you know what I mean? Everything, it's just so, it's so realistic in the sense that like, yes, she gets so much taller, but her taller is spending $10 more on her dinner than she would normally.
I love this show because it is about, as you mentioned, just two very unimportant people. They're not trying to change the world. They've not got some great battle that's going to protect, you know, all of New York. It's not a grand fairy tale story, but it's about two real people. So anybody watching in the audience could literally have that story in their childhood or about to in a year. It's a very plausible, romantic, albeit yes, but very plausible story for anybody to experience.
Well, you brought two ordinary people together with your extraordinary talents, and we are so grateful for that and for joining us
Thank you very
here
much.
at Sardi's.
Look at the Sardi.
So now
Very
you can go
iconic.
look at
I'm going
each
to.
of the
And I'm going to say,
portraits.
I know all of them. Yeah, absolutely. I know them all.
And one day you both may be up on that wall.
Oh, your lips to God's ears.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our thanks to Christiani Pitts and Sam Tutty, and to Sardi's for hosting our conversation. And the cast recording of Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York is out now. For more conversations like this, download the CUNY TV app or find us on the CUNY TV YouTube channel to watch all our shows. I'm Patrick Pacheco, and we'll see you next time when the curtain rises on theater, All the Moving Parts.